Good morning. Well, this weekend, people across Western New York will have the opportunity to dispose of their old prescription medications properly. And here to talk about the event is Dale Kasperzak of the DEA, Jessica Sherman of Kids Escaping Drugs, and Christopher Jadok of DUville School of Pharmacy. Tell us what is so important about this type of event and allowing people to be able to do this.
Well, Laura, one of the biggest drug problems that we face here in Western New York today, and really not just in Western New York but around the country, is the growing problem of prescription drug abuse and the abuse of pharmaceuticals. What we've learned at the DEA, after talking to many people who have been using pharmaceuticals and prescription drugs, is that they often began their journey into drug abuse by stealing medications from family members' medicine cabinets or from the homes of the elderly or from homes of friends. So what we've put together at the DEA is a national event all across the country. On April 28th, we will be hosting collection sites, and we will be asking the community to bring their pharmaceuticals and prescription drugs to these collection sites so that we can take them in and safely incinerate them. We have hooked up with local law enforcement, we've hooked up with community groups, we've hooked up with medical professionals such as the DUville School of Pharmacy, and together we are trying to put together and energize the community and let everyone know that they should bring their prescription drugs to us.
Okay, and Jessica, what's important about this event for you and what you do?
Well, I have the opportunity to work with adolescents on the Renaissance campus who are in the early stages of their substance use through Kids Escaping Drugs face-to-face program. And in my work with teenagers in the early intervention program, I'm seeing many young people from the Western New York area who are under the false impression that prescription medication is safer than the street drugs that are available in our community. And they're under this false impression that they're safe, and what we're finding is that very quickly they're becoming physically addicted to these medications. So from the clinical end of all of this, with our affiliation with the Renaissance campus, we feel it's so vitally important for the elderly and the adults in our community to get these prescription medications off the street so that they don't fall into the hands of our young people who so quickly develop an addiction to them.
Now, something that I was reading about that I found very interesting is how these prescription medications affect our environment. Chris, do you want to touch on the waterways and how it's affecting that?
Yes, unfortunately, there have been a number of studies where they're finding high levels of pharmaceuticals in waterways, groundwaters, and that's something that in our discussions with our environmental people, that the sewage systems just aren't designed to filter these out of the waterways. So with these drop-offs, we're looking at four things to touch on. The environmental factors. When they're incinerated, these medications then will not harm anything. They turn into useless ash. The diversion to students who abuse them, teenagers and such. Then we have elderly people who just have so many medications at home, they don't know what to do with them. They get confused and oftentimes are taking multiple medications that they don't need to be. And also children are still being poisoned, young children. So what we have is in the counties of Western New York, there'll be 33 locations this Saturday. 12 in Erie County, 4 in Niagara County, and also the outlying counties as well, there'll be places. And it's very easy to do. They're drive-up programs where people can just drive up, open their window. We have pharmacy students and pharmacists who will be collecting them. Law enforcement will be on site at each location, DEA agents and local law enforcement, and as Dale said, that everything will be incinerated later in the week to a harmless ash, and from an ecological standpoint, when it's incinerated, it actually generates energy, steam and electrical energy that's put back into the community.
Okay, great. Thank you all so much for being here. For more information about these events and where you can drop off your old medications that you don't want anymore, you can find that information on wingingit.tv. The event is April 28th at West Her Collision and across all of Western New York. Thank you so much for being here. For right now.